Hi guys, Rene here and welcome to the workshop. Today I'm going to talk about some more budget-oriented items, and this is basically the package that I think is probably one of the best ways to start training with power and doing some proper training on the bike. So the first one I think is the best value power meter currently on the market. So this is the brand new Quarq D0 power meter, but with standard aluminum arms. So this one isn't the lightest unit out there. It has a cheaper standard cast aluminum crank, but still forged maybe. But the electronics, the measuring devices, the strain gauges and the functions are all the same as on the more advanced and the more expensive units. So you get a proper little complete power measurement with Bluetooth and plus and easy calibration and a very reliable unit in itself. I have 3 of the SRAM Red versions and I really like them. Very good units. So if you compare this to Stages, that's going to be left only, and it's only going to be 100 maybe 200 euros cheaper depending on the configuration, but you're not getting a complete crank and you are not getting complete measurements. There are some other options like 4i and so on, but those are not really well-established players in the market yet. So in a less advanced country like mine is, for example, you don't get very good customer support with those brands because you don't really have that much of a distribution network or anything like that. You also get chainring bolts. Now this is basically a non-hidden bolt version. Then what you're going to need for this one is a set of chain rings. I prefer to use SRAM and Shimano when possible because these are going to shift reliably. Now I have tried different chain rings from Praxis and Rotor and so on, but with Shimano they are quite reliable, but SRAM derailleurs from derailleurs use this yacht technology, and that makes the shifting very wonky if you don't use their own or Shimano chainrings. So SRAM, Shimano, possibly Campagnolo, these are more designed for shifting. The ramps, etc. are a lot more functional. So even though they're not possibly not the cheapest ones, but I really recommend you to get the proper ones. Now the reason I'm also getting chainrings for this one is this is going on a Shimano bike. Well, honestly, most mid-range or low-end bikes, but even the high-end bikes nowadays that you buy complete come with Shimano. So we're going to need a different set of rings. You can buy a Quarq for Shimano rings for the forearm asymmetric design, but that's much more expensive and not that much of a value option because they only come with carbon arms, and they're more expensive than SRAM carbon arm cranks. Then, as a head unit, I really like to use the H520 because it's light, small, doesn't have the annoying touchscreen that bigger models do, and it's probably not the freshest option. Or the Wahoo Element is also a good option. I have tried one recently and I really liked it, but you don't really need anything fancy for a head unit. If you're racing, you don't really need navigation if you're a performance-oriented rider. And one more thing we are going to need for this build is of course a Pressfit GXP bottom bracket or an adapter, but well, again, this is not a super high-end option. It's just a standard bottom bracket with plastic cups and steel bearings, but still you need to change that to accommodate the GXP cranks. That's probably the only downside to using these cranks, because they only come with either BB30, which some manufacturers use, so if you can go for that, but I really don't understand why it is necessary to create these different axle diameters on the two sides. because otherwise it will be just straight on compatible with Shimano, and that would do. But nevertheless, this still is going to be under 1,000 euros, or bang on 1,000 euros actually. And I think for a complete power measuring chainring and bottom bracket setup with a very high quality head unit, it's one of the best options out there. And the bike this goes to is a Trek Emonda LR6, which is an aluminum frame, very light, very nimble and well riding frame. And it's built up with complete Shimano Ultegra, including the cassette chains, and that also comes in at like 1,400 euros. That's the price I got for my customer on that bike, and it's for his son who rides on a under 13 category. And I think if he rides from the beginning of his career according to power and trains with power, he's going to make good progress very quickly. The bike is not too fancy, not even a carbon frame, but it's a very good bike. I think it's a very good option overall. Yeah, so this video was basically on request. Some of you guys have been requesting me to do some more budget-oriented options. Well, I think this is one of the best options to go for out there in the market. So if you have any other questions regarding this, then don't hesitate to leave your comments down below. Otherwise, it's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.